Vinyl community, hello. Here I am for a new video, and believe me or not, maybe you shouldn't believe me, but for this video I'm good. And there is a thread going on at the moment created by Alan, Static Traveler, and it is a vinyl tag. You have 9 questions. You have to answer to those questions pretending you are God. And if you are not God, you couldn't make it happen. So yes, I am God for this one. There are few videos out there on the VC, and I would like to congratulate Rob Walker for his video, because I could have answered to all the questions the same way he did, except for one, because I love Paul Simon. Okay, so but so far it is my favorite video on this thread. The first question is a record you would improve by removing or adding a new track. This is my channel, so I will answer to that the way that I want. So my answer is to remove a track from this album. This is a cheesy album. This is a no-full album. This is an album that you can put in the trash and it's okay, but this is an album with one fabulous track. And in France we say that this album has a fabulous track that is a great example of modal jazz, and this is Don't Play For Me by Daniel Janin and J.C. Pierrick. And the album is Pierre Célin et son orchestre. They are the artists who played that. This is a dull album with bad covers. But Don't Play For Me is an original by the producer who ran at the time the label Letretto, which was a very bad label. But they were good artists. And so if I was God, I would remove this track, this fabulous track from this bad album, and I would put it in another one with all the fabulous compositions that these two guys made at the time. It was in the 70s. So if you go to France, if you find this in used vinyl bins, yes, take this. You shouldn't pay more than €1 for that, and it's expensive for what it is, but there is this fabulous track on it. Don't Play For Me, Daniel Janin and J.C. Pierrick. I think that I would improve this album by removing this track, because it would be more coherent. Next one is Return From the Dead. Oh, this one was not difficult to decide, because I decided to go for this guy, Stevie Ray Vaughan, who passed away in a helicopter accident in the 80s. This is him, a guitar hero and I would have uh, liked to know what he would have done in the 90s. The next one, an album you obliterate from the earth, an album that you own. And I own an album that sometimes you you know that you listen only a few times to this album or this other album, but you don't know how many times you listen to them. And this one, I know how many times. It is never. I tried to listen to this all the way through, and I didn't succeed, or it's not difficult, but I wasn't in the mood at the time, and I'm not courageous enough or brave enough to listen to that. This is Elton John, Single Man, a min copy. So why do I keep it in the collection? This is why. Great taste in cars. So next question is show an album that express the power of nature. So I decided to go for this album by Little Feat, an album from '74, and there is this mountains, the storm, and this beautiful car with George Washington here and Marilyn Monroe here. It's an album from '74. Yeah, I already said that. Feats Don't Fail Me Now. This is the title. It was the fourth question. The Frankenstein process now, the fifth one. Well, in France, we all love this guy, Serge Gainsbourg. And as Serge Gainsbourg was always looking for new sounds to work on, I decided to make my Frankenstein process on him. So he is coming back, and I will make him work with a neo soul artist called D'Angelo. And yeah, so I would like to make these two guys work together, because I would like to know what would have done Serge Gainsbourg with the new neo soul sound, and I need a third person to make the vocals, and I would go for Dan Stewart, who was the singer of Green on Red, Paisley Underground band from the 80s. So it is a Frankenstein process. So you have to melt together people that are not supposed to work together. But Serge Gainsbourg made a fabulous album in the late 70s when he went to Jamaica and made a reggae album with Sly and Robbie. So he could have done that very well. The sixth question is show a male album, a male artist, a female artist, and that you should take one album of theirs with you in heaven. Sorry for the question. I say as I um, I can. So for the female artist, it's easy. I would go with Fiona Apple, fetch the bolt cutters, and for those who want to see the Beatles everywhere, uh, it's it's not nothing to do with Apple label, you know. So yeah, very easy because when she start up a song, you never know uh, where she is going. So I love that. And for the male artist, it was easy as well because I would take Paddy McAloon, the composer and singer of Prefab Sprout, and I would take this album because it was launched in 2013, and I bought this one on CD. I put it in my phone, and until this time, I have this album always with me, and when I go abroad or when I go out for my work, if I go for work, I listen to this album each time. So, Prefab Sprout, and the name of the album is Crimson Red. The next one is the Seven Deadly Sins. Show an album that express one of the scenes, and I decided to go for sloth, which is a new word for me. Not the idea, but the word in English, because in French we say paresse. And so I think that the best expression I could find in my collection is that. It's an album by a French band called Gablé. The name of the album is Jolly Trouble. So yes, this is a good way to show sloth. And by the way, it is a very good post-punk band. And yeah, Gablé. It was in 2015. Next one is an artist that you will send to hell because of crimes he committed against the art, against music. And for French, it's really easy because we have great guitar player. He played with the biggest artist you could see in Paris during the 50s. This guy is Sacha Distel, and this is Sam Records reissue of the album Afternoon in Paris with John Lewis. And great album, by the way. And in the 60s, Sacha Distel decided to go for the other side of the music, the greedy side of the music, and decided to make cheesy music, variété, chanson, as we say in France, which are terrible. And he made so many money on that, more than here, I'm sure. And he was very loved by old ladies because he was so kind and so handsome, so nice, so well. And then after the 70s, I didn't succeed so much, so he decided to come back to jazz, and he made this, which is as pretty as the 80s were. And it is my guitar and all that jazz. He has to come back to English as well, it seems, obviously. And this is a terrible album because it's covers, but dull covers, because he still wanted to please the old ladies here, and not the ladies that could understand uh, jazz, by the way. So, bye. Maybe we will see together in hell. I don't know. Unfortunately, he passed away 20 years ago. But yeah, for the his music, his way he evolved in music, it's very sad. And the last question is to which VC channel you will give 1 million subscribers? And well, I would go for a channel called Eat Sleep Vinyl by Freddy, which is, I think, the most beautiful channel, the content, the production. And unfortunately, I don't know why, but Freddy made only two videos 1 year ago, and in 2 years, I think. So yeah, if I could give him 1 million subscribers and to make him come back, yes, this is for you, Freddy. So now I'm going back to my normal life, and thank you, Alan, for the vinyl tag, because it was fun to make. Of course, it's more French, this one, that the other videos, but yes, I'm back to normal now. Bye.